edge, and something is pulling us toward what's beyond it. Gravity is leaking out of our universe right now, and in 2026, 47 million galaxies told us that everything we thought we knew about the fabric of space is wrong. This is what exists outside the membrane. Here is what modern physics actually says about our universe. It is not a ball floating in nothing. It is not an expanding bubble in empty space. According to M-theory, the most complete mathematical framework we currently have, our universe is a membrane, a three-dimensional surface embedded in an 11-dimensional space called the bulk. Think of it this way. Take a piece of paper. Everything on that paper, every dot, every line, exists in 2 dimensions. The paper itself floats in 3-dimensional space. We are the dots. Our universe is the paper. And there is an enormous amount of space above and below us that we cannot see, cannot touch, and cannot directly measure. But we can feel it. Gravity, unlike every other force in physics, is not confined to our membrane. Light stays here, particles stay here. But gravity leaks. It bleeds into the bulk. This is why gravity is so extraordinarily weak compared to every other fundamental force. It is not fully here. Part of it is always somewhere else. Experiments at extreme small scales in 2025 confirmed that gravity behaves differently than predicted below the millimeter range, stronger than it should be, because at those distances, before the leakage fully dilutes the force, we are measuring something closer to gravity's true strength. Our universe is a surface, and it is not the only one. What 47 million galaxies told us. In April 2026, the Dark Energy Spectroscopic Instrument, DESI, announced results from its largest survey yet. 47 million galaxies mapped across the observable universe, the most precise measurement of cosmic structure ever attempted. The finding was not what the standard model predicted. Dark energy, the force accelerating the expansion of our universe, is not constant. It is changing. Over billions of years, its strength has shifted. The cosmological constant, the number Einstein inserted into his equations and later called his greatest blunder, is not a constant at all. This matters because dark energy is the dominant force shaping what our universe does. If it changes, something is driving that change, and the most natural explanation, within the framework of brain cosmology, is that the bulk itself is applying pressure. Our membrane is not expanding freely. It is being pushed, or it is moving through something that has its own structure, its own geometry, its own influence on everything inside our 3 dimensions. The standard model has no answer for this. The data does not fit. And 47 million galaxies do not lie. The signals we cannot explain. There is something moving in the universe that should not be moving. Galaxy clusters across a region spanning 2.5 billion light years are drifting together in a single direction. Coherent motion. All of them pulled toward the same point on the sky, somewhere between the constellations Centaurus and Hydra. Scientists call this the dark flow. At those scales, the standard model says motion should average out, random in every direction, no net drift. Hindi mamba, the drift is real. It has been measured, and the only explanation that works mathematically is a gravitational source located beyond our observable horizon. Something so massive, so far away that its light will never reach us, is pulling matter across billions of light years of our universe. We cannot see it. We can only see what it does. And the dark flow is not the only signal. In the cosmic microwave background, the oldest light in existence, the faint afterglow of the universe's first moments, there is a pattern that should not exist. An alignment. The largest structures in the temperature map of the early universe point in the same direction. Scientists call it the axis of evil. It should be random. Statistically, the chance of this alignment occurring by accident is negligibly small. Something outside our universe may have imprinted a direction onto the fabric of space itself before most of what we see today existed. In 2026, observations from Tokyo confirmed a phenomenon called cosmic birefringence. The polarization of ancient light is rotated by 0.264 degrees across the entire sky, a single coherent twist in light that has been traveling for 13 billion years. The statistical confidence of this detection is 99.9996%. Something is interacting with the oldest light in the universe in a way that has no explanation inside the standard model. The quasar dipole asymmetry, measured across hundreds of thousands of sources, shows that the universe is lopsided. One side of the sky has more structure than the other. The statistical significance, 4.9 sigma. That means the probability that this is random noise is less than 1 in a million. These are not anomalies waiting to be explained away. They are measurements, consistent measurements pointing in the same direction, toward something outside. The shape of the container on it. And so, if something exists outside, what is our universe sitting inside? The observable universe, everything we can in principle detect, is a sphere 45 billion light-years in radius. But this is not the edge of the universe. It is the edge of what light has had time to reach us from since the beginning. The real universe extends far beyond this. How far beyond is one of the most important open questions in physics. If the universe is finite, but has no boundary, the way the surface of a sphere has no edge, then its geometry closes back on itself. Fly in a straight line long enough, and you return to where you started. The universe would need to be at least 1,000 times larger than what we observe for this curvature to be undetectable from inside. A more radical possibility is the hypertorus, a universe that closes on itself differently in different directions. In such a geometry, you could travel in a straight line and return from a completely different angle than you left. Light from the same source could reach us by two different paths of different lengths, meaning we could see the same object at two different moments in its history simultaneously. The compact collaboration, using data from the Planck satellite and new computational methods developed in 2025 and 2026, is specifically searching for circles on the sky, pairs of rings with identical temperature patterns that would appear if light had circumnavigated the universe and arrived from opposite directions. So far, no circles. Which means if the universe is closed, its circumference is at least 20% larger than the observable sphere. Probably much more. The universe is large, much larger than what we see. And what lies in that unobservable region may be as complex and structured as everything we have mapped. The holographic limit. There is one more possibility for what outside means, and it is the strangest. The holographic principle, developed from the mathematics of black holes and confirmed through decades of theoretical work, suggests that everything inside a volume of space can be completely described by information encoded on its boundary surface. Not as a metaphor, as a literal physical statement. Our universe may be a projection, not in the sense of illusion, but in the precise technical sense that all the information defining every particle, every force, every moment of time inside our three-dimensional space is encoded on a two-dimensional surface at the edge of what we can observe. If this is true, then what is outside the universe is the surface itself, the boundary, the place where the code is written. In 2025, researchers applying Gödel's incompleteness theorem to the laws of physics concluded that the universe cannot be a simulation in the computational sense, because reality requires what they called non-algorithmic understanding. The laws of physics cannot be fully described by calculation, because the laws themselves are what generate space and time. The code is not running on hardware somewhere else. The code is the universe. What is outside in this framework is the mathematical structure itself, timeless, spaceless, the platonic reality from which our observable universe emerges as a single possible expression. What we know here is what the data says as of 2026. Something beyond our observable horizon is exerting gravitational influence on matter inside our universe. The dark flow is real. Something has imprinted a preferred direction onto the structure of the cosmos. The axis of evil is real. Something is rotating the polarization of light that is 13 billion years old. Cosmic birefringence is real. Dark energy is not constant. DLA confirmed it with 47 million data points. None of these fit the standard model. All of them fit a universe that is part of something larger. We will never send a spacecraft beyond the observable horizon. We will never directly observe another brain. We will never see the bulk. The physics of our universe prevents it absolutely. But the signals are already here, in the oldest light, in the motion of galaxy clusters, in the rotation of polarization across the entire sky, in 47 million galaxies that refuse to follow the rules. Something is out there, and it is already leaving marks on everything we see.